helping older adults remain independent. That's our Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from Threshold Care is CEO Jacob Loader. Hi, Jacob.
Hi, Fred. How are you?
Terrific. Well, great to see you. Give us a bit of an overview to start with of what the company is all about.
Yeah, so Threshold Care really came about sort of as a personal experience. Really, I had a, a family member suffer a fall, and my background is in consumer technology and IoT devices, things like that, and really interested in how you could use those devices to, fit in solutions like this, and also knowing this individual, um, they're very private, they're very independent, and not wanting to violate any of that privacy and protect and promote that independence. So, really, that's what brought us to the Wi-Fi sensing plugs. It's a really simple to use and efficient way to garner some very valuable motion data, whereby providing caregivers the opportunity to know when's a good time to check in.
So, describe for us what a Wi-Fi sensing plug is and how it works.
Yes, absolutely. So here it is, right here in my hand. So very, very simple. Looks like a smart plug, right? It's the form factor of the smart plug. So three of these plug in a home in an outlets, connect to Wi-Fi, and once that connection to the Wi-Fi router is established, what's established is a sort of zone. So when somebody walks through this zone, it can be about 1,500 square feet. So pretty robust. The disruption of that Wi-Fi signal is registered as motion. So we have a pretty good sense, right, of what's going on in that given zone at any time during the day. And then beyond that, just the real-time data aspect, there is the learning, right? Beginning to understand what those patterns are so that we have a better sense of, hey, this is normal. There's motion at an expected time, or more importantly, hey, there's motion when there should be no motion, or if there is no motion registered and there typically is. Say it's 9 a.m. and there's been no motion registered at all, when usually there is by 8:30. So those are the kind of things that are sort of important to flag to caregivers, right? And let folks know, hey, things aren't looking like they usually do, might want to check in.
So, what other things can it tell you? It's telling you if somebody is moving about in a given area.
That's correct. So, really, what we're focusing in on specifically with this Wi-Fi motion sensing plug is the presence of motion or the absence of motion, and using that as a way to say, hey, yeah, there's motion, things are moving as it typically, would be throughout the day, and or, right, like I mentioned, there's no motion, there usually is, this is abnormal. So really getting to that binary motion data as a way to say, hey, things are seeming good. And that really, kind of vital level of awareness to send caregivers a notification through the app, right, where all of this information is sort of viewed in real time on a dashboard, or sending notifications saying, hey, it's not looking like things are normal. Probably a good idea to check in.
And do the plugs have to be out in the open? Because often people have, sofas or furniture, things like that near these.
Yes, yeah, it's no problem, right? Just like your phone connects to Wi-Fi, if it's, underneath the pillow or not, right? The Wi-Fi sensing, right, is it's really established in that sort of zone. That's why we leverage three of them to create that zone. So you're really getting roughly a 1,500 square foot area whereby that motion can be measured in that space.
It seems that it could also be used for security, but I don't know if you're looking at that market.
Well, that's I think the great thing about a device like this, the simplicity and the utility, right? Motion is motion, right? And it's valuable. Obviously in our, in the personal story cases, generational care, caring for our aging loved ones. But certainly, right, in any caregiving scenario, whether that be, for aging loved ones or someone who's living independently, who may have a disability, right? That's the great thing about the device, right? Is it's measuring motion. Is it there? Is it not there? As that way to really provide some good data points to caregivers, but most importantly, right, it's about providing that independence and protecting the privacy of that loved one who is being monitored.
And so, where are you in the process of bringing this to market? Where is it today?
We we are open with pre-orders right now. We are in production, so building up our first list of individuals who are signing up and excited about using this device, and we're expecting to ship those in the spring in 2024.
And the cost involved here, tell us about the device itself, and is there a subscription model?
Absolutely. So that's, I'm glad you asked. So right now for our pre-order, we're selling a starter pack of three of these to establish that first zone for $49.99. So $49.99, usually $59.99. So $10 off there for a three sensor starter pack and no subscription fee, no app or service fee. You open it up, you connect it to Wi-Fi, the insights start rolling out of the box. And that's really important. And we know it's a difficult thing in sort of considering bringing any type of monitoring device. So we're really interested in removing friction, right? Making it as simple and easy to use as possible, because it's really that critical insight that's most important. And we don't need to overburden with a complicated install, and then on top of that, a service fee for app. It's just not necessary. So we really want to keep it simple out of the box and provide that insight to folks.
And step us through the person in whose home this is going. They select who gets notified, or how does this all come together?
That's right. So the person who sets it up would probably establish that what we're calling the circle of care. All right. So there's an admin that goes in, connects the devices, and kind of sets up the whole sort of motion zone that they want to be monitored. And then that access can be shared with other concerned caregivers, right? So one admin to kind of control how things are set up, but those insights, those notifications can be controlled at the sort of user level for any other caregivers that want to have that data point.
Pretty exciting. So the market that you've targeted this specific market for it, do the plugs also work as smart plugs, or is it strictly for this function?
They do, yes. So we've redacted that function for right now. We really just want to very, very focus on be very focused on the Wi-Fi sensing portion of it. But they do have that capability. We've not enabled it at the moment, but down the line, that is certainly something that we can turn on. But really, most critical for us is the Wi-Fi sensing component of it. So making sure that that's all part of that focused, simplistic setup. We're not trying to add any other functionality on top of it just yet. We want it to be very focused to providing that motion data.
So are you looking to sell these to mostly private individuals, private homes, or to senior living facilities? What are you looking at?
So our primary model is direct to customer, so e-commerce, selling this to anybody who independently has that need or sees the opportunity. But yes, the idea is it's useful in all situations. My pass is in direct to consumer. And I think the importance of that type of relationship is it really allows us to connect and understand more closely with the customer base, with the folks that are using it, so that we can better understand where their needs lie and how we can best address those needs with our product or other products down the line.
Can you have different zones within a household? Say there's an upstairs and downstairs, for instance, and control it through a single app.
Yep. So you'll need to establish a zone. You'll need three of these. So and like I said, 1,500 square feet is what three of them can establish. So it's a pretty robust sort of motion area. But should the desire be to establish multiple zones, that certainly can be applied as well.
Interesting. So for more information, where can people go?
Yeah, you can visit us at threshold.care. That's where we have, a whole slew of FAQs, some videos, but also can follow us on social media, Instagram. I post a lot of tutorials and walkthroughs there. At Threshold Care is where we're at there. And it's a, we're very engaged, so welcome any sort of comments, and we try to get back to as many as possible. It's really fruitful conversations we've found in that space, so we look to cultivate that.
And while this isn't fall detection per se, you're letting people know that, hey, there hasn't been movement, so somebody might have fallen or they might be ill.
Right. So looking at that very first level of awareness, right? This is we see as a very much like a first step, right? It's not a personal emergency response system. I think that's important to note, right? But we believe that there's a lot of value in protecting the independence, but also in the insight. There's a lot that we can get just by understanding motion without any image, video, or audio capture.
Terrific. And the site, once again, is threshold.care. Jacob Loader, thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you so much.